I guess, on what that'll do to the price?
It won't lower it. I can guarantee you that. In my business, I'm a consulting engineer. I do this. I've been doing this for 20 years, and anytime you have to rebid a project, it always goes up. I can't give you a percentage. I would say that I would like to, I'd love to say that, it would be the same or even lower, but it would be higher. I can almost guarantee you that. Yes, ma'am.
These questions don't go to the Permanent Town Building Committee, but they go more toward the Senior Center, maybe the Council on Aging. So how do people, you've been the face with the project right now because the Permanent Town Building Committee has taken it over. How do people get their questions asked of the council? In other words, the questions that people have posed to me is what happens to the food pantry, what happens to the thrift shop, where will I go during construction, and well, maybe this one is for, no, this is probably for council also. Since you're putting a permanent kitchen in, are we going to be hiring cooks? I get a lot.
We don't have. The Permanent Town Building Committee doesn't get into a lot of those details. That's left up to Joanne. I don't believe that they have any plans on hiring cooks. I believe it's their staff is going to do most of the preparation. The question as far as where they're going to go, we have plans, or we're working with, Joanne is actually working with Jody Ross in looking at locations to temporarily relocate during construction, because it is going to be, first of all, we don't want to have the senior center open during construction. It just wouldn't make a good fit having seniors coming into an active construction site. Plus, it makes the project get completed a lot quicker if we can vacate the building during it. We could probably save 3 to 4 months of construction time. So Joanne is currently looking at locations to temporarily relocate during construction. We'll address things like the food pantry and the thrift store. And I'll tell you, I don't know exactly what they're going to do right now, but my experience working with them so closely over the last couple of years is they are amazingly creative as far as finding space and finding ways to get their programs done. And she doesn't seem to be concerned about where's going to put that, but they'll find a way somewhere in that building to offer that, continue to offer that program.
Yeah, a couple of residents have expressed a concern over losing those programs, especially now.
No, and I know that is certainly not going to be the case. And and if it means doubling up, activities in another room, that may be what they end up doing. But the plan is to continue with that.
Okay, with that, Tom, I know you're going to talk also to the town hall.
Yep.
So with that, why don't we switch gears to the town hall?
Okay.
I know this was an important project, so we chewed up a little more time getting some of those questions answered, but why don't we shift to the town hall now?
Okay. Town hall. This has been something now that's been in the works for about, that was kind of thrust upon the Permanent Town Building Committee as kind of a surprise, and I think it was a surprise to everybody in town when the building was essentially condemned back in November of 2007. I think it says in the warrant 2006, but it was actually to 2007 when the town hired a structural engineering firm to come in because there was concerns about the loading in the building, particularly the files that were stored up on the second floor, and the concerns over the structural integrity of the building. The structural engineer issued a report that essentially said that the building really was not safe. Building inspector then condemned the building. Everybody vacated the building and is relocated to different locations. So what then has transpired is we completed a feasibility study. We hired an architectural firm, Kang Associates. They've worked since last year. Last time completing a feasibility study, which I have here. They published that in January 2009, and looked at the existing building, interviews with department staff, working closely with the town manager's office and our committee to determine what the program needs were. So basically to be able to the goal was to try to put everybody back in that was there before, meet all their space requirements, but plus also address two main issues, or three main issues actually. In addition to the office space, they also had an identified need for more meeting room space, for both for conference rooms and also to try to put a large meeting room for the selectmen's meetings and other meetings. As everybody knows, we just don't have enough meeting room space in town. And then thirdly, one of the biggest criteria was providing archival storage for the town's both temporary and permanent records. And working closely with Carrie at the town clerk's office and the Records and Archive Management Committee to determine what those needs were. Feasibility study came up with several different concepts. We had several meetings. We had a large meeting here in this room back in November, proposed some of the schemes. We met with the selectmen, and we ultimately settled on a small addition, which is about an 8,000 square foot, not 8,000 square foot, I'm getting all my projects all screwed. So it's already. The building itself, the existing building is 7,500 square feet. The addition is it's a two-story addition off to the rear with an addition off to the west, which links up against the police station. It's about a 2,600 square foot addition, 2 stories. Right now, we're still trying to determine what we're going to do with the basement. The existing town hall, and this is the architect's rendering of what it will look like kind of from the rear. We'll be making a new main entrance. Obviously, as everybody knows, it's not a very pretty way that you right now go into town hall. So we'll be providing a nice entrance that'll provide elevator access and stairs. It's a half a flight of stairs to get up to the main floor. All the additions will match up with the existing floors. New meeting room will be right up here in this corner up on the second floor. And it's a complete renovation of the existing building. It's needed mostly because of structural issues. We have to go in and shore up the building. We have to install new columns. We have to reinforce the existing beams. And so it's essentially going to be a complete renovation of the existing structure. What we're trying to do is obviously we did not want to change the appearance of the building. A lot of people were concerned about having too large of an addition, particularly viewing from Main Street that would change the view from the town common. This view doesn't really see it, but this addition here is the archival storage, which will link up against the police station. That's a single story, about 600 square foot addition that will be the actual town hall. So all offices or all departments that were in town hall prior to the building being closed will, under this plan, will return. We're pretty confident that they can all fit, and we've got a new layout that we think will offer more efficient, layout and function for the building. We have to address things like ADA accessibility, sprinkler systems. We also have to address egress issues, plus working closely with the Historic Commission. Some of their concerns is how we're going to do with some of the features that they wanted to see restored or at least maintained, particularly to the front of the building, which is the main staircase that goes up to the second story, plus the I keep calling it granite, but it's not, the marble plaque, which is up at the top of the World War II Civil War. But I want to reassure everybody that the staircase is being maintained. We are not changing that. We have to enclose the stairwell, but not the stairway. So we'll by doing doors and things like that, we'll be able to maintain some of those features. Up on the second floor, unfortunately, I know there was a lot of requests in town to try to save the stage, restore the second floor to the way it used to be. Unfortunately, that just cannot happen. The stage has to go, but Shakespeare can stay. We're going to find a new place for Shakespeare to go, and what else? And then a lot of the details on the sides. Oh, the windows. Windows, they're going to be all replaced. We're working closely with the Historical Commission to come up with windows that will match the existing. Some of the things that even I didn't notice before, that the arcs on the second floors have been actually squared off because of when storm windows were installed many years ago. We're going to open that all back up again.